Hello everyone, and welcome to another fall walk, another installment in the series of videos that I hope will help you start on your own walking journey and propel you towards your own fitness goals and any other goals that you have in your life. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. I'm hoping to do a 35 or maybe 40-minute walk. The reason why I'm going to be extending the walk today is because, well, the weather here in South Florida is pretty phenomenal, and I can't miss out on a day like today. When the weather's good, you gotta seize the day and make the most out of it, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do today. It's not very often that we get weather like this, so when we do, it's always a little bit rare, and it's borderline sweater weather here in South Florida. I can tell you the temperature right now, it's 77 degrees. And at 77 degrees, I can assure you that people already start to get their sweaters out. If it wasn't because of me walking right now and eventually building up a sweat, I'd probably be doing the same thing. Okay, so today, I want to talk about the top reasons to walk. And these reasons are not going to originate from me, but I just wanted to go online, browse some hopefully credible websites, and give you all some insights as to what these websites are saying, what these sources are saying, and just have a friendly discussion on some of the reasons why walking is so beneficial for your health. This is going to be now, I believe, our third week doing this, and I can assure you, I can confidently say, that it has improved every aspect of my life. It has helped me maintain a healthy weight, it has made me feel stronger, it has cleared up my head, especially after a day of work, and it just how do I say it? It just flows very nicely into my day. It's a great moment for me to de-stress and just have a good time, appreciate nature, get some sun, and really just think about today and the next day and the next couple of days, and really sort of create my own vision board mentally. So really, without further ado, let's just go ahead and pull up some websites. So top reasons to walk, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna do a cursory look here and see if we can find, for example, Harvard Health. Seems like probably a good place to start. I don't want to pick any source. Just because a source ranks at the top of Google search results doesn't necessarily mean it's credible. If any of you know of SEO, search engine optimization, you probably know that you can get yourself to the top of the search page by just optimizing a couple of parameters on your website. But I am no expert on SEO, so I won't dive into that topic today. What I will dive into are the 5 surprising benefits of walking as mentioned by Harvard Health Publishing, Harvard Medical School. Let's just go through these a little bit and see what they have to say, and I'll give my own insights into them and see if there's any truth in them. I'm sure there is if it's Harvard publishing it. So, number 1, it counteracts the effects of weight-promoting genes. They discovered that among the study participants who walked briskly for about an hour a day, the effects of those genes were cut in half. Well, let me give you an idea about that, right? Yesterday on our hour walk, I think we averaged around 250 or 270 total calories, maybe a little bit more. And you know, if you're already following, let's say this is your first time walking, you know, I think probably most people get into walking because they want an easy way to start getting into fitness and hopefully losing some weight. So if this is your first time ever walking and you haven't really changed your diet yet, I mean, the calories that you lose from walking will definitely help you get into that caloric deficit needed to be able to lose weight. At the end of the day, it really is about calories in and calories out. And if you are consuming less calories per day, then you will lose weight. So that extra bit of walking is certainly going to put you on that right path to be able to continue losing body fat and achieve the body that you desire. Now, of course, that means that you can't walk and then after walking, you know, have donuts or anything with a lot of calories. Or I guess more generically, let's say you burn 200 calories, you can't then go and eat something that's more than 200 calories because you've effectively negated the walk. However, even though you ate something that was the 200 calories or more, I still feel like the net amount of, how do I say it? I don't really know how to explain it, but you still burned calories for the day. You still reduced the amount of calories you would have had if you hadn't, right? So if you, let's say you start at 0 and you burn the 200 calories, even if you eat the 200 calories again, you're back at 0. So in that way, I see it as, there's no net gain of calories. However, if you don't walk and you're at 0, and then you have the 200 calories, now you've gained an extra 200 calories for that day, which puts you at a calorie surplus, which instead of you losing body fat means you will gain body fat. So I definitely agree with what Harvard's saying. I think they're getting a little more technical, a little more detailed with the weight promoting genes, but overall, walking will help you lose weight, and it's one of the easiest ways to get started. You take someone that's never been to a gym before, never worked out before, and what's the easiest way for them to get started? Sometimes people don't like going to the gym because, it can be a little intimidating. There's a lot of people in the gym. Maybe you haven't built up that self-esteem or confidence to be able to go out there and just sort of mind your own business and do your own thing. Until you get over that, it's sort of how I felt when I started making these GoPro videos. I was out here with this chest-mounted GoPro, and people were looking at me like I'm strange. But now I feel like enough people have seen me that they probably know who I am, and they know that, even if they think, oh, there goes that weird guy using his GoPro, that's fine. The thing that really matters is that I'm over it. So, taking someone to the gym first time, maybe they want to do it, maybe they don't. But an even easier thing is, hey, just go outside and go on a walk. Use the tools that God gave you, your legs, to go out there and walk. You need no equipment at all to just go outside and walk. And it's such a natural movement that we're all born with and very good at doing. So make use of that movement and make use of those muscles and just really get out there and get started. All right, so let's go to the next one here. It helps tame a sweet tooth. So it says that a pair of studies from the University of Exeter found that a 15-minute walk can curb cravings for chocolate and even reduce the amount of chocolate you eat in stressful situations. And the latest research confirms that walking can reduce cravings and intake of a variety of sugary snacks. I'll be honest, I can't really add any more to this because I just never grew up with a sweet tooth. My mom is a diabetic, and so we didn't really have a lot of sweets in the house. And because of that, I just don't really care about sweets. If there's like if I'm at a birthday party and there's some cake around, I might have a bite or two of cake, but that's actually one thing I'll hand off to my girlfriend and say, okay, you can finish the rest, because she has an insane sweet tooth. But me, not so much. So I'm sure there is credibility to that. However, I cannot myself attest to that bullet point because, again, I just don't have a sweet tooth. But let me know, if you do have a sweet tooth, do you find that walking helps you curb your cravings for sweets? Okay, number 3, it reduces the risk of developing breast cancer. Researchers already know that any kind of physical activity blunts the risk of breast cancer, but an American Cancer Society study that zeroed in on walking found that women who walk 7 or more hours a week had a 14% lower risk of breast cancer than those who walk 3 hours or fewer per week. And walking provided this protection even for women with breast cancer risk factors, such as being overweight or using supplemental hormones. Okay, so let's talk about this, right? There was a important piece here. Who walked 3 hours or fewer per week, 7 or more hours a week. Okay, so 7 or more hours a week would be an hour a day. Now, those are not the numbers that we're doing currently. So suppose you stumble upon my channel and you're thinking, okay, how many hours a week am I going to be walking if I just follow this guy? So let's think about it. We do half an hour from Monday to Saturday, although today we might do 35 or 40 minutes, so it's variable. So at the end, I'll give myself a little bit of a buffer, but let's calculate the baseline. The baseline is always 30 minutes a day. If I'm feeling good one day, I'll do more. I'll never do less. So we got 1 hour on Monday, Tuesday. What I mean is the combination of Monday, Tuesday equals an hour. The combination of Wednesday and Thursday equals another hour. Friday and Saturday equals another hour. That's 3 hours plus the 1 hour we get on Sunday, which is 4 hours to the week. And we'll go ahead and add in an extra half an hour just to account for the days that I feel extra good and want to walk a lot. So we're looking at about 4.5 hours a week of walking. Now, if I remember correctly, let me see, was it American Cancer Society weekly walking exercise guidelines? I don't know if it was American Cancer Society or 150, oh, that's kind of gross. I just spit on my phone a little bit. 150 minutes of weekly Walking. Let's see. The CDC. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. We know 150 minutes of physical activity each week sounds like a lot, but you don't have to do it all at once. It could be 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, which is what we're doing, and more. Physical activity is anything that gets your body moving. Each week, adults need 150 minutes of moderate, intense physical activity and 2 days of muscle strengthening activity, according to the current physical activity guidelines for Americans. So these are the recommended levels for health benefits. Okay. I'm looking at some of the other examples. Here we go. For even greater health benefits, if you go beyond 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity activity, or 75 minutes a week of vigorous intensity activity, or an equivalent combination, you'll gain even more health benefits. Oh, look at that. Exercise ring closed. So we're at least following the CDC, getting our weekly recommended levels of fitness just by following the videos on this channel. So if you do nothing else but listen to me while having your phone in your pocket, that's going to be a surefire way to get in the fitness that you need. All right, let's come up to the next one here. So, okay, we went over point number 3. Now I'm going to do point number 4. So this one's talking about it eases joint pain. So it says here, several studies have found that walking reduces arthritis-related pain, and that walking 5 to 6 miles a week can even prevent arthritis from forming in the first place. Walking protects the joints, especially the knees and hips, which are most susceptible to osteoarthritis, by lubricating them and strengthening the muscles that support them. So let's see what it says here. Walking reduces arthritis-related pain, and that walking 5 to 6 miles a week can even prevent arthritis from forming in the first place. So how many miles are we averaging for every single walk? If I go to my phone here, I look at fitness, show more of my history. So here's an outdoor walk where I did 30 minutes, 1.7 miles, right? And that's baseline. Remember, 30 minutes, no more. So if we just did 30 minutes every single day, 1.7 times 7, so we're averaging almost 12 miles a week. So we're effectively nearly doubling the amount that Harvard says we need to maybe even prevent arthritis from occurring in the first place. So I don't know about you, but that's a pretty good benefit that I can think of. I've seen a lot of older people. What's up, guys? I've seen a lot of older people, especially in the neighborhood that I grew up in. Now, when I say older, I mean folks in their 80s that looked incredibly healthy and strong. And the one thing I noticed about them is they walked every single day, and they walked for an extended amount of time. And when I say extended, I mean probably at least an hour. So it's no coincidence that the strongest people you see, the most fit people you see, are the people that are doing the daily walk and perhaps a couple of days of strength training. And let me actually go into that a little bit. So strength training, right? Recently, I've been listening to some health experts, primarily Peter Attia, who's usually a guest on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's been talking a lot about his VO2 max. I'm not really going to get into the details of VO2 max because without looking it up, I can't even tell you a good definition of what it is. But what I do know is that having a very good VO2 max will reduce all-cause mortality by some percentage. I forget the exact amount, but it's a percentage that's pretty significant. A percentage that no other drug can provide, which is to say that walking and doing exercise is really the best drug. There is no other drug that can improve your odds of living a healthy lifespan and health span for that long. And because I've been walking so much, I've been more interested in improving that number. It's actually something that I'm measuring a little bit more now that I've gotten into the Couch to 5K, because strength training is fun, but I'm not really, I used to talk about this a lot when I started this channel, talking about like the 3 pillars of strength: mobility, strength, and cardio. I think cardio is probably, I mean, strength training is very good, but I'm not really interested in being extremely strong. I want to have a good amount of functional strength, you know, enough that I can do practical things. If I can lift, you know, heavy objects, if I can move my body in good ways, that's important to me. I don't need to be able to bench press 400 pounds. Now, Would I be opposed to benching 400 pounds? No. But do I really want to get to that point? I feel like to get to that point, I'd really have to prioritize strength training and eating over everything else. But I'm trying to be more of a hybrid athlete, right? So if I continue to increase my VO2 max, or I don't know if that's really the way that you'd say it, just get better with my VO2 max, then I think that could have very good health implications for me the older I get. So I know I just went on a crazy tangent right now, but I just felt like it was important to talk about, since walking is a form of cardio if done correctly. Okay. And the last bullet point here, it boosts immune function. Walking can help protect you during cold and flu season. A study of over 1,000 men and women found that those who walked at least 20 minutes a day, at least 5 days a week, have 43% fewer sick days than those who exercise once a week or less. And if they did get sick, it was for a shorter duration and their symptoms were milder. Now I will say, being, not a crazy fitness enthusiast, but someone that's, I'd say, fairly active, somewhat active, right? At least once a day, I try to do something. I can definitely say that every time I do get sick, it doesn't last for a very long time. And the amount of times I get sick a year, it's almost none. Like, I don't think I've ever used a proper sick day at work. And sick day is different from paid time off, right? For example, I can have no more paid time off, but I can still have days for sick days. I'm not sure I've ever used a proper sick day at work. Has to be attributed to walking. Or at least doing something. But definitely walking. Okay, so that was some of the points from Harvard. Let's see what other websites here. Mayo Clinic sounds like it's probably pretty good. So walking. Let's see what the headline says here. Mayo Clinic, walking, trim your waistline and improve your health. Regular brisk walking can help you blank. Let's see. I'm just going to go through these bullet points. I think these are pretty good right here. Maintain a healthy weight and lose body fat. I think we've already covered that. Prevents or manage various conditions, including heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. Improve cardiovascular fitness. Again, going back to that VO2 max. You're improving your cardiovascular fitness. I don't want to get winded if I'm like going upstairs or doing a run. If and when I have kids, I want to be able to play with them and run around with them and be energetic and feel good and be able to move. I have this theory, and I'm not really sure if this is really on the same topic, but I have this theory as to why people say, you hear 30 and 40 and 50-year-olds saying, I'm in the best shape of my life. And I don't think it's because they actually are. Well, how do I rephrase this? There is no doubting that as a 20-year-old, you're probably more fit than like a 30, 40, 50-year-old, right? You are probably faster, you're stronger, you can move better. As long as, if you took good care of yourself, if you just trashed yourself during your teens, maybe that's not the case, but take the average person that's somewhat healthy and eats decently, you're probably pretty fit at your 20s. Some might even say in your prime of your physical fitness, right? But I think the reason that older people say they're in the best shape of their life is because the older you get, the more in tune you are with your body, and you start making smarter decisions, which ultimately leads to you feeling better. Again, I'm not sure why I went through this or started on this tangent just by reading that one bullet point about cardio fitness, but I can say that, oh, looks like we just passed the mile. The older I've gotten, I've started to make better decisions about my health. One of those including being these daily walks and the couch to 5K sessions. And I'll be honest, I do feel the best I've ever felt. Now, do I feel as strong as I've ever felt? No, I was probably the strongest when I was 23. I think when I was 23 years old, that's the strongest I've ever been. So there's different times in your life for different things, but my goals at 30 are not the same as they were when I was 23. And even at 23, I didn't really have, I can't say I even had goals. I just went to the gym with my friend and that's what we did. We just like to lift heavy stuff and have a good time. And it was heavy for me at the time. And it's still heavy for me now. So again, I'm not trying to get extremely strong. I'm trying to build myself as a hybrid athlete and be pretty good at a bunch of different things, because I think ultimately that's what's going to benefit me the most. All right. It strengthens your bones and muscles, improves muscle endurance, increase energy levels. Yes to all those different things. Muscle endurance. I really want to talk about the energy levels. You know, I'm the type of person that, man, I'm like a morning person and a night owl. When I wake up in the morning, I'm just excited to get the day started. And when I go to sleep at night, I'm also very, very energetic. And I feel like I can attribute a lot of that to walking, doing exercise in general, just having a positive outlook on life. Yes. So I do believe that fitness can be something that helps you get those energy levels. Now, I do drink coffee. I love my coffee, but I don't think coffee alone is the thing that makes me feel good because, for example, now I haven't had coffee in a couple of hours and I feel great. I don't really get headaches and, I don't know, I don't really feel withdrawal symptoms from coffee, and I also think that's because I walk. Maybe the walk helps counteract the effects of withdrawal symptoms. Also, one thing I will say, I've learned that mindset is a very, very large part of life. And maybe I'll save this topic for a discussion video. I have a whole notepad full of ideas for those videos, but perspective is, I think, the most important thing in life. How you view things can have serious implications for how you live. Like that might sound, I was gonna make a statement like, I don't think anything in life is too bad, but there are things that are actually bad. Right? There's some things that are very hard to get out of, even with a good mindset, but you can definitely, you are the destiny, or you are the destiny. You are the master of your own destiny. You can alter the world in which you live in so that you get the greatest benefit from it, right? You have the power to manipulate your destiny and the outcomes in life, and it's really just about your mindset. I recently watched a YouTube short of a very old couple. I believe the husband was 103 years old and the wife probably in her 90s. I believe they were married more than 50 years, and he was just saying how he was able to live a very long life because of having no stress. It was actually very nice. He mentioned how him and his wife never went to sleep not having resolved an argument. You have to at least apologize to the other person before you go to sleep. And I do think that's a very important thing. Don't carry any hate in your heart. Try to be positive. Even when you feel like things aren't going well for you, just realize that it's just a mindset shift, right? For example, let me see if I can think of a bad situation. I mean, it's really, one of those things like half glass, half full, or half empty, half full. Sometimes people say, oh, there's a 70% chance of rain. Well, I say, well, there's a 30% of chance that it won't rain. And that's a percentage. It means that there is a chance that it won't. Right? If there's a 20% chance that it won't rain, there's actually a greater chance that it will. Or rather, if there's a 20% chance that it will rain, there's an even greater chance that it won't. Focus on the 80%. Don't focus on the 20. Because I'm telling you right now, that sort of thinking will just drive you to the ground. And it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Your life is short. Just be positive and try to make the best of every situation. I try to view every situation as a learning opportunity. Truly. Even my failures. Actually, my failures are my greatest learning opportunities. Because without them, I will not be where I am today. All right, continuing this list, it improves your mood, your cognition, your memory, and your sleep. Improves your balance and coordination, strengthens your immune system, and reduces stress and tension. Oh, look at that. We were just talking about stress. Walking is a fantastic way to deal with stress. You get to put everything into perspective when you're walking. Maybe you listen to something like this video. You can just hear someone talk, and that could be very meditative for you. I certainly like to do that. Listen to audiobooks or podcasts, right? Or maybe you don't listen to anything, and you just appreciate the nature around you. And you realize that if you're alive, life is going well. Here's an exercise for everyone listening. I want you to pick one thing that you would like to accomplish next year. And I'm going to allot you I'm going to give you an entire year to be able to accomplish that one thing, right? And guess what? If you finish that thing earlier, you get to pick another thing. So I would hope that by me saying that, it doesn't necessarily mean you don't want that one thing to take the entire year, right? That's not what the exercise is for. The exercise is so that you can maybe do it in a month, and then you can move on to the next thing. I want you to keep track of the things that you want to accomplish. Write it down. Keep track of where you succeed and where you fail, and keep going at it. That's what I want you to do. Get really good at doing that, and you'll see how far you'll come in just 1 year. Let's do a quick progress check here. We've been walking 25 minutes, probably gonna do another 10, maybe 15, depending on how I'm feeling. I see that the neighborhood kids are coming up. They might wanna stop and say hi. Of course, that's always welcome, but we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna make any assumptions. What I will do is perhaps find another website here, but I will be cognizant of the kids. How effective is walking on the fitness subreddit? We can also use this as a little break from talking. I feel like I have talked incredibly fast for the past couple of minutes. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Good day? Happy Monday, guys. Bye. Or hi or bye? All right, let me see it, man. Oh, I know that you don't like to be in the videos, so I don't want to film that way. All right, I'm going to film you guys, right? All right, guys, let's watch this play right here, all right? What's up, man? Are these your brothers?
No, not really. I don't have brothers.
I already got it, man. That's it. You gotta do it one more time. You gotta try again. It's nice though. You guys have a nice friend group. It's like it's an important thing to have, yeah.
Sort of.
Oh, it's a lot of people. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
But like apparently like there's like lots of drama that's been going on.
In this group?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it is. There's always drama in life, you know.
Yeah.
Nice. Look at that, man. You're gonna go to the NFL one day, man.
I want to baseball.
You want to be a baseball player?
Yeah.
Nice. You can do both. Oh, there you go. That's funny. All right, I'm gonna go this way. All right, take it easy, guys. See you next time. All right. Gonna keep it up here, keep up the walk. Nice little break. It's amazing. Kids are cool. Yeah, you know, when I first moved in here, there used to be a group of kids on the other street that were always playing, and just like one day I didn't really see them anymore. I don't think it's the same group. Actually, it was more girls that were all playing. I think one of them moved though, and I think the girl that moved, it's funny because she was the youngest one, but I feel like she's the one that held the group together. And ever since she left, you know, you always have that one friend that kind of holds the group together, or you have that one family member that like everyone goes to their house, and like without them, things just kind of fall apart. It's weird how that happens. How does that person become the designated person for that? Is it because they're just like very hospitable? You know, I think that's probably what it is. Hospitality, I think, plays a major role in that. I had a best friend, God bless his soul, amazing friend. His name was Jeremy. He was the life of the party. It was the life of the party, you know? And I remember when I was in college, you know, as a boy in college, I was mostly interested in going out, having fun, talking to girls, as any other person in college would be. It's a very exploratory period. And I remember I would talk to Jeremy and I would just, you know, ask him like, oh, what's the game plan tonight? Are you gonna text this girl? Are you gonna call this girl to come to the party? And he would just tell me, I don't really care about that stuff. Let's just go out and have fun, and whatever happens, happens. And because he had that attitude, everyone wanted to be his friend. Everyone wanted to hang out with him. And everyone always knew that Jeremy was the person that would start the party and would keep the group together. And I think it's because he was so hospitable. He always included people. He always asked if people, needed anything. He liked to be nice. He enjoyed being nice. And I do think that that's how a group is maintained. You need that one person, or maybe there's several people in your life that are like that. But another good example of that is my cousin, well, actually my aunt. She's very much the same way. She's always been the house where people go to, and I also think it's because she's incredibly hospitable, very giving, very welcoming, very warm. People want to be around them. So this is the new group of kids. I still haven't figured out who is the glue, but maybe over the next couple of days, or weeks, or months, or years, I will. We're about 30 minutes into this walk right now. I'll go for a little bit longer, but I'm feeling great. I have a vision in my head, and I'm going to keep manifesting it in every single one of these talks that I do. I really, really believe in my head that I can achieve what I want, and I want you to feel the same. If you're listening, you can achieve what you want. This is your daily affirmation, right? You can achieve whatever it is you want. Manifest it and tell yourself in your head that you will get it. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I will accomplish that thing, and continue to work hard to get that. I do not want to be limited by anything in my life, because we don't have to be. So go out there and get what you want. I will say, don't worry so much about material things, right? Focus on things that build a foundation, things that can transcend materials, right? Things that can transcend your life. It can bleed into your kids' life and their kids' life, and so on and so forth. Think long term. Don't think short term. I promise you, if you think long term, you will be better off. What an amazing walk to start off this week. We're almost at the end of the year. I'm looking forward to another vacation. I'm very happy we got a chance to talk about the top reasons to walk today. We covered a couple of them, a lot of important ones. And I just really hope that we can continue doing this every single day throughout the new year. One thing I'm very excited about is in December 1st, or rather on December 1st, Map My Walk is going to publish a new challenge. I didn't want to start in the middle of November because I want to start, right in the beginning of the month. So at the beginning of every month, something I'm going to try and do is incorporate the Map My Walk challenges into these videos to give you sort of an extra goal to achieve. And the same way that I share my stats in the description, I would love to hear about your own stats. Let me know how you're doing, how many minutes you walked, how many calories you burned, or whatever other metrics you want to share with me, or any other questions you have. At any rate, we're going to continue walking here. Let's see if we can maybe find one more book. Well, actually, not book, sorry. I was reading a text message. This post here is called How Effective is Walking. I'm just going to read a couple of the top posts on this one post. Or not a post, but rather the top responses. Just bear with me for a moment because there's a big bus behind me and it might be a little bit loud. Okay, this person says, I have worked out most of my life lifting weights and to a lesser degree doing some form of cardio. During pandemic gym closures, I started finding other ways to work out and also took up walking anywhere from 2 miles to 6 miles most days. I was able to lose extra stubborn weight that was not quite possible before. I still walk and take in sunshine and I'm much healthier and leaner now. Here's another response. Walking is my go-to secret weapon when I'm trying to cut and lose fat. I find that the key is to do as much as you can manage as often as you can. For me, that means 15,000 steps a day, 6 days per week, in addition to strength training and conditioning. But this specific volume is just what works for me. It is not a suggested guide. You have to find your own comfortable level. If you're obese and wanting to lose fat, then doing as much walking as you can will definitely help and improve your overall health and well-being. Definitely better than sitting on the couch, and you should go for it. But as has been said in other comments, no amount of walking or even more intense cardio will do much if you aren't doing everything right with your diet. I think that's one of the earlier things I talked about, the whole thing with the 200 calories. You can burn calories, but you can also consume them right away, which it's what makes walking hard or exercise, right? Like, you can do so much work and you can literally lose it in seconds. So you have to be very, very consistent and very diligent. Noticeable benefits are seen early. Any walking is better than no walking. This is a longer story, but it looks like this person probably had very positive side effects from walking. All that to say that the benefits of walking are real. And I encourage anyone listening to start their own walking journey today. Literally right now, if you're listening, get out there and walk for 5 minutes. Just do 5 minutes. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry if you guys heard that burp. I tried to make it as quiet as possible, but these microphones are pretty good. All right, so we are walking now for 36 minutes. An incredible walk for a beautiful Monday. The weather is nice. It has gotten colder, but I've also gotten warmer. I think earlier the temperature was, what, 77? So it's gone down by a single degree. And hey, that's something, right? So far, it looks like our active calories are 147. And I am able to consistently close my move rings. Hey. I think I will be wrapping up the walk now. So let me go ahead and stop this workout here. Quickly go over the stats and workout. Okay, so 38 minutes and 11 seconds, 2.03 miles, 18 minutes and 48 seconds, minutes over a mile average pace, 155 active calories, 214 total calories, average heart rate of 101 beats per minute with a range of 74 to 110, and that is all she wrote. So with that, I'm going to be signing off. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you can enjoy your Monday, and let me know if you are getting into a walking routine for the first time. I would love to discuss it with you. And with that being said, take care everyone, and happy holidays.